The stars were shining quietly above Earth, peaceful as they had always been. But deep in space, far beyond the reach of human eyes, something dark and powerful was moving. It was the Great Empire, a force that many had heard of but few had seen. The Empire ruled vast parts of the galaxy with fear and strength. And now, it was coming for Earth. On Earth, in a small control room filled with screens and blinking lights, scientists and military officers gathered nervously. Their leader, Commander Harris, stood tall, but his face was tense. The silence in the room was heavy. Everyone was waiting for one thing: a message. The message came suddenly. It was a strange signal, unlike any Earth had ever received. The scientists stared at the screen as the words appeared in a language Earth could understand. It was a demand. The Empire ordered Earth to surrender immediately. If Earth refused, the message said, terrible consequences would follow. No one in the room spoke at first. The silence grew even louder. Commander Harris looked around at his team. "We must think carefully," he said. "This is no ordinary threat." Far away from the control room, in cities and homes, people were unaware of the warning. Children played under blue skies, and adults went about their daily work. But soon, news of the message began to spread. The media broadcasted the demand from the stars. People stopped and stared at their screens, their faces turning serious. Some were afraid. They remembered stories of other planets crushed by the Empire's power. Others did not believe it. How could Earth, with all its strength, be threatened by aliens? They asked. But deep inside, a quiet fear began to grow. Scientists worked day and night to understand the message. Dr. May, a leading expert in space communications, was the first to discover something strange. The Empire's ships were not just coming, they were already near, but Earth's usual satellites and radars showed nothing. It was as if the Empire was hiding, waiting in silence. This silence was worse than any noise. It meant the Empire was watching, planning, and no one knew what they would do next. Commander Harris called an emergency meeting with world leaders. They needed a plan, fast. The idea was simple but risky. Earth would shut all its space gates. These gates were portals used for travel between stars. Closing them meant cutting off all contact with the outside universe. Many leaders disagreed. "If we close the gates," said President Clark, "we isolate ourselves. We lose allies and information." But Commander Harris was firm. "If the Empire wants war, we must protect Earth first. Closing the gates is the only way to keep the enemy out." The decision was made. Across the globe, space gates began to shut down one by one. Lights dimmed, and the hum of engines stopped. For the first time in history, Earth was alone. As the gates closed, strange things started to happen. Communications with other planets went silent. The stars seemed darker, quieter. Astronomers noticed a change in the sky. A shadow passed across distant stars, too fast to be a normal ship. In the control room, Dr. May stared at her screens. "Something is wrong," she whispered. "The Empire's fleet is bigger than we thought, and it's moving closer." The people of Earth waited anxiously. No one knew when the Empire would strike. Would they send warships? Would they attack the cities? Or would they try to break through the gates? Meanwhile, deep inside the Earth's defense centers, soldiers prepared for battle. Tanks rolled across the ground. Jets flew in tight formations, and radar systems scanned the skies. But the biggest threat was still invisible. In a small town far from the city, a young boy named Alex watched the stars every night. He loved stories about space and heroes. When the news came, he felt a mix of fear and hope. "Earth has always been strong," he told his sister. "Maybe we can stop the Empire." As days passed, the silence from space grew heavier. No one heard from the Empire again, but no one dared to relax. It was a quiet warning, the calm before a storm. Commander Harris sat alone in his office late one night. He looked at the stars through the window. "We have shut our gates," he said softly. "But can we keep the Empire out? Or is this just the beginning?" Suddenly, an alarm blared. The control room burst into action. A new signal appeared. On the screen, a strange pulse of energy coming from beyond the solar system. Dr. May examined it carefully. "This is not a normal signal. The Empire is sending us a message again. But this time, it's different." The message was a puzzle. It spoke of power, fear, and choices. Earth had to decide quickly. The fate of all humanity was now in the hands of a few brave leaders and scientists. In homes, schools, and streets, people waited for news. The quiet warning had become a call to action. Earth was ready to fight, but the cost was unknown. The Mai. Stars shone above, silent watchers of the unfolding story. And deep in the dark reaches of space, the Empire waited, patient, powerful, and silent. The day Earth locked out the Empire had begun. The silence in space was not peace. It was the breath before the storm. After Earth closed its gates, the silence in space became even heavier. No ships passed through the portals, no messages came from other worlds. But deep in the darkness beyond the solar system, the Empire's fleet moved slowly but surely toward Earth. It was a massive fleet, with hundreds of warships shining cold and strong under the distant stars. Their power was clear, and their intent was clear too. They were coming to claim Earth. On Earth, news of the Empire's fleet spread fast. People in cities, towns, and villages listened carefully to every update. Fear grew, but so did determination. Earth's leaders worked day and night. They held meetings with scientists, generals, and diplomats. They needed a plan, one that could protect Earth without losing hope. Commander Harris, the man who had led the decision to shut the gates, stood firm. "We cannot run," he told the leaders. "We must stand. The Empire is strong, but Earth has something they do not: our spirit." Earth's military began to prepare for war. Soldiers trained harder than ever. Fighter jets flew in perfect formations. Tanks and missiles were tested again and again. But the most important weapon was not steel or fire. It was Earth's unity. People from all nations joined together. They shared hope and courage. In the secret labs beneath Earth's surface, scientists worked on new technology. Dr. May led the team that studied the strange energy signals coming from the Empire's ships. "Their technology is beyond anything we have seen," she said, "but we will find a way." Still, many people worried. The Empire had conquered many planets before. They had destroyed entire worlds. Would Earth be next? In homes, families gathered around screens to hear updates. Children asked questions they could not fully understand. Parents tried to stay strong, even when their hearts trembled. The world was changing quickly. One night, Commander Harris visited a space observatory high on a mountain. Through the giant telescope, he watched the stars. Far away, the Empire's fleet grew larger in number. The ships moved silently, like shadows creeping closer. Back on Earth, a young pilot named Elena prepared for a secret mission. She was brave and skilled, chosen to fly a small scout ship close to the Empire's fleet. Her task was dangerous. She had to learn everything about the enemy's plans without being caught. Elena's heart beat fast as she boarded her ship. She knew this mission could change everything. If she succeeded, Earth might have a chance. If she failed, the Empire's power would grow. As Elena's ship launched into the dark sky, the people of Earth waited. They watched and hoped. The silence of space was broken only by their quiet prayers. Days passed slowly. Elena sent back reports about the Empire's fleet. It was bigger and stronger than anyone expected, but it also moved carefully, as if the Empire was unsure. Why would such a powerful force hesitate? On Earth, scientists discovered strange energy waves near the space gates. These waves disrupted communication. They wondered if the Empire was using a secret weapon to block Earth's messages. The tension grew. Commander Harris called another emergency meeting. "We face an enemy unlike any before," he said, "but Earth will not fall. We must be ready." As the Empire's shadow loomed closer, Earth prepared for the unknown. The gates were locked, tight. The soldiers were ready. The people were united, but the greatest test was still ahead. The day Earth locked its gates was only the beginning. The real fight for survival was about to start. The quiet in space was broken once again, but this time it was different. The Empire sent a final message, a last warning before they would act. The transmission was clear and cold. They demanded Earth's immediate surrender. They said if Earth refused, the Empire would destroy everything in its path. No negotiations, no second chances. On Earth, the message hit like a thunderbolt. Commander Harris and the world leaders gathered quickly to listen. The room was tense. Everyone knew this was serious. The Empire was not bluffing. Dr. May studied the transmission carefully. The signal was strong and precise. It was a message meant to frighten, but also to warn. The Empire wanted Earth to know exactly what was coming. "They want us to give up," she said softly, "but we cannot." While the leaders debated what to do next, a young pilot named Elena volunteered for a dangerous mission. She would fly a small ship close to the Empire's fleet and try to gather information. The mission was risky. If she was caught, it would mean certain death. But Elena was determined. "If we can understand their plans, we might find a way to fight back," she told Commander Harris. The world watched as Elena prepared for her mission. People prayed for her safety and hoped for success. Her ship was small and fast, perfect for slipping through enemy lines. As Elena flew toward the dark fleet, Earth's defenses grew stronger. Soldiers trained harder, weapons were tested, and cities prepared for the worst. Fear was everywhere, but so was courage. Elena's journey was tense and silent. She moved carefully, hiding among the stars. From a distance, the Empire's warships looked like giant shadows. Their metal bodies shone under the cold light of distant suns. Using her advanced equipment, Elena recorded everything she saw. The Empire's fleet was vast and deadly. She noticed strange patterns in their movement, sometimes slow, sometimes quick. It seemed they were testing Earth's defenses. On Earth, Dr. May analyzed the data Elena sent back. "The Empire's technology is far ahead of ours," she warned. "But we can learn from this. We must." Days passed, and the Empire's threat grew closer. The silence in space was broken only by small bursts of signals from Elena's ship. Then, suddenly, the signals stopped. On Earth, the control room went dark for a moment. Everyone held their breath. Had Elena been caught? Was she lost? Commander Harris refused to give up. "We will not lose hope," he said firmly. "Elena's mission was brave. We will keep fighting." Meanwhile, the Empire's message echoed through Earth's communication systems. It was a reminder of the danger ahead. The stars were no longer peaceful. They were filled with fear. But Earth was not alone. Scientists discovered strange energy waves near the edge of the solar system. These waves seemed to protect Earth like an invisible shield. Could this be a new weapon? Or a hidden power waiting to be discovered? As the Empire's fleet moved closer, Earth's leaders faced a hard choice. Should they fight or try to talk? Should they risk everything to save their world? The quiet warning had become a loud call. The final transmission was clear. Surrender now or face destruction. Earth's gates remained shut tight. The fight for survival had begun. After Elena's last transmission went dark, the silence in space felt heavier than ever. No one knew what had happened to her, and fear grew on Earth. Commander Harris and his team stared at the empty screens, waiting for any sign. The quiet stretched across the stars, but it was not peace. It was a silence filled with danger. Deep in the dark reaches, beyond the solar system, the Empire's fleet moved slowly but steadily. Their ships were large, dark, and powerful. They moved in perfect formation, like a shadow creeping closer to Earth. But something strange was happening. The fleet did not attack. They did not rush forward. They waited. On Earth, scientists studied strange energy waves near the space gates. These waves were unlike anything seen before. They caused static on radios and blocked some signals. Dr. May and her team worked around the clock to understand this mystery. "It's like the space itself is changing," she said. "The Empire might be using a new kind of power." Meanwhile, rumors spread among the people. Some said the Empire was afraid of something. Others believed Earth had a secret weapon. Stories of hope and fear mixed together. The silence in space became a heavy cloud over everyone's hearts. In the military bases, soldiers prepared for what might come. They trained harder, sharpened their skills, and stayed ready. But even with all the preparation, no one could shake the feeling that this silence was more dangerous than any battle cry. Elena's ship, though lost to Earth's sight, had revealed some truths. The Empire's fleet was massive but moving cautiously, almost as if waiting for a sign. Was the Empire unsure of Earth's strength? Or were they hiding their true plan? At night, Commander Harris looked up at the sky. The stars twinkled as usual, but he felt a cold weight in his chest. "This calm is the worst enemy," he thought. "We must be ready for anything." Suddenly, sensors on Earth picked up a new energy pulse. It was different from before, sharper and stronger. Dr. May studied the data closely. "This is no ordinary signal," she said. "It might be a warning or a test." The people of Earth held their breath. The silent space around them was alive with secrets. Each moment passed slowly, filled with tension. In a quiet town, Alex, the young boy, who loved the stars, stared at the night sky. He wondered about Elena and the great empire. "Will Earth be safe?" he asked his sister softly. She could not answer, but they both hoped for a miracle. As days turned to nights and back again, Earth waited. The silence in space was not empty. It was full of waiting for the moment when the Empire would make its next move. The great shadow of the Empire loomed closer, but Earth stood strong. Behind the closed gates, the fight for the future was growing. The silent space was no longer peaceful. It was the calm before a storm that would shake the stars. The long wait ended suddenly. One quiet night, Earth's outer colonies were attacked without warning. Bright flashes lit up the dark skies above distant planets where humans had begun to live and work. The Empire's warships moved quickly and struck hard. Explosions rocked the colonies, and alarms blared across radio channels. On Earth, the news shocked everyone. People watched in horror as the images of burning cities and fleeing civilians appeared on their screens. The Empire had begun its attack, and it was more powerful than anyone had imagined. Commander Harris and the military leaders sprang into action. The defense systems activated immediately. Fighter jets took to the skies, and missiles fired from the ground. Earth's soldiers fought back fiercely. They refused to let the Empire take even one step forward. In the control room, Dr. May analyzed the battle data. "Their weapons are strong," she said, "but Earth's defense is stronger. We must hold this line." The battle was fierce and fast. The Empire's ships fired deadly lasers and missiles, but Earth's forces responded with skill and courage. Pilots flew through the chaos, dodging attacks and striking back. Soldiers on the ground protected important bases and evacuated civilians. Despite the fear and destruction, hope remained alive. People across Earth sent messages of support to the soldiers fighting far away. They believed that Earth's spirit could overcome any enemy. Meanwhile, Elena, the brave pilot who had disappeared during her secret mission, was found alive. She managed to escape and returned with valuable information about the Empire's fleet and their weaknesses. Her story inspired many. "We are stronger than they think," she told the commanders. The first strike had shown Earth's power and courage, but it also revealed the true danger ahead. The Empire was not just attacking, they wanted to break Earth's will. In towns and cities, people prepared for more. Families packed supplies, and communities organized to help each other. The world was united in fear and determination. Commander. Harris addressed the public. "This is only the beginning," he said. "But Earth will not fall. We will fight for every inch of our home." The Empire's shadow loomed larger, but Earth stood firm. The first battle was won, but the war was far from over. In the quiet after the battle, soldiers cleaned their weapons, and commanders planned the next move. The fight for Earth's future had truly begun. After the fierce battle at the outer colonies, Earth's leaders knew they needed more than courage and strength. They needed a weapon that could change the course of the war. Deep beneath Earth's surface, hidden for centuries, lay a secret, an ancient technology unlike anything the Empire had seen before. Dr. May was the first to discover this hidden power. In a forgotten cave far from any city, her team found strange symbols and machines covered in dust. As they studied the artifacts, they realized this was not just old technology. It was a weapon that could block the Empire's ships from entering Earth's space gates forever. Excitement and fear filled the research lab. If this weapon worked, Earth could protect itself without endless battles in space, but no one knew if it was safe or if the weapon could be controlled. Commander Harris visited the lab. "If this is real," he said, "it could save millions of lives." He looked at Dr. May with hope and concern. "But we must be careful. The Empire will stop at nothing to destroy us." While the scientists worked day and night to activate the weapon, the Empire's fleet grew closer. Every day, Earth's people watched the stars, waiting for the next attack. Fear mixed with hope. Could this secret weapon be their salvation? In the cities, families whispered stories about the ancient weapon. Some believed it was a miracle, others thought it was a dangerous gamble. But everyone agreed on one thing: Earth would fight with everything it had. Meanwhile, soldiers trained harder than ever. They prepared to defend the weapon's location from any enemy attack. The secret had to be protected at all costs. Elena, the brave pilot, joined the scientists to help understand the weapon. Her knowledge of the Empire's technology was vital. Together, they worked to unlock the power hidden beneath the ground. Days passed, and the weapon's energy grew stronger. The air around the lab hummed with power. Earth's hope shone brighter than ever. But the Empire was watching. They sent spies and small ships to search for this new threat. The battle was not only in space, it was also a fight to keep Earth's greatest secret safe. One night, alarms screamed in the lab. Enemy ships had been detected near the weapon's site. Soldiers rushed to defend the area. The fight was intense, but Earth's forces held their ground. Commander Harris knew the war was entering a new phase. "The Empire fears this weapon," he said. "They know if we use it, their power will be broken." As the secret weapon was prepared for its first use, Earth's people waited with bated breath. The future of their world depended on this ancient power. The day Earth locked its gates was only the beginning. Now, with the secret weapon, the real battle for survival was about to start. Earth's hope for victory rested heavily on the secret weapon hidden beneath its surface. Scientists worked tirelessly, soldiers guarded the site day and night, and leaders planned their defense carefully. But even in the strongest walls, danger could come from inside. Unknown to Commander Harris and the rest of the world, a traitor walked among them, someone who had chosen to betray Earth's greatest secret to the Empire. The reasons were hidden: fear, greed, or maybe a dark promise from the enemy. Whatever the cause, the betrayal threatened to undo all of Earth's efforts. In the quiet halls of the defense base, secret messages were passed. Codes were broken, and the Empire's spies grew stronger. Soon, the enemy knew the location of the secret weapon. One cold night, alarms rang out across the base. Enemy ships launched a surprise attack, aiming straight for the hidden weapons. Sight. Explosions shook the ground, and soldiers scrambled to defend their post. Commander Harris was stunned. "How did they find us?" he asked urgently. The betrayal was clear and painful. As the battle raged, the traitor's identity began to surface. It was someone trusted, a high-ranking officer who had been in charge of security. The shock spread through the ranks like wildfire. How could one of their own turn against them? Despite the betrayal, Earth's defenders fought bravely. Soldiers held the line, refusing to let the Empire destroy their last hope. Fighter jets soared through the smoke-filled skies, and ground troops pushed back the enemy's forces. Meanwhile, Dr. May and her team rushed to protect the weapon's core. "We must keep it safe," she said, her voice steady despite the chaos. "If we lose this, Earth will fall." Elena, still recovering from her previous missions, joined the battle. Her courage inspired the soldiers. She flew dangerous missions to stop enemy reinforcements and gather crucial intelligence. The battle was fierce and costly. Many lives were lost, and parts of the base were damaged. But Earth's defenders held strong. The traitor was captured, and their betrayal exposed to the world. Even in victory, the betrayal left a deep wound. Trust was broken, and fear grew. Could Earth protect itself if enemies came from within? Commander Harris vowed to tighten security and unite the people. "We cannot let fear divide us," he said. "We must stand together stronger than ever." The war had changed. The Empire knew Earth's secrets now, and the fight was more dangerous than before. But Earth was not ready to give up. The secret weapon remained Earth's greatest hope, and its defenders were ready to protect it, no matter the cost. The betrayal had shaken Earth to its core, but it had also strengthened its resolve. Commander Harris called for the final preparations. The Empire's fleet was now close, too close to ignore. This was the moment Earth had trained and waited for. The last stand was near. Across the planet, soldiers stood ready. From frozen bases in the north to deserts in the south, troops waited quietly but fiercely. Fighter jets were lined up on runways, engines humming softly, ready to launch at a moment's notice. Tanks and artillery were positioned to defend every key city and stronghold. In underground bunkers, scientists worked on the secret weapons activation. Dr. May's fingers flew over control panels as energy levels surged higher. "We can only use it once," she warned. "It must work perfectly." Elena prepared for her most dangerous flight yet. She would lead a squadron to strike at the heart of the Empire's fleet, buying time for the weapon to activate. Her hands were steady, but her heart raced. She knew this mission might be her last. The people of Earth braced themselves. Families held each other close. Children were told stories of heroes who had saved the world before. Hope was fragile, but alive. As the Empire's warships appeared on Earth's radar, the battle began. The sky lit up with fire and smoke. Jets darted through the chaos, dodging lasers and missiles. Explosions shook the ground, and the sound of battle filled the air. Earth's defenses fought with all they had. Soldiers held their positions despite the overwhelming enemy power. Commander Harris coordinated the fight from the command center, his voice calm but urgent. "Hold the line! For Earth!" Elena and her squadron pushed deep into enemy space. They faced heavy fire but pressed on. Her bravery inspired the pilots around her, each risking everything to protect their home. Meanwhile, underground, Dr. May and her team activated the secret weapon. A low hum grew into a powerful roar as energy surged through ancient machines. The ground trembled and light spread across the planet. Suddenly, a massive wave of energy burst into space. The Empire's fleet was caught in the blast. Ships shuddered. Engines failed, and many were forced to retreat. The battle was fierce, and the cost was high. Many heroes fell that day, but Earth stood firm. As the last enemy ships withdrew, silence returned to the stars. Earth had won the final stand, but the victory was bittersweet. Commander Harris looked at the stars with tired eyes. "We saved our world," he said softly, "but the war has changed us forever." Elena returned from her mission, battered, but alive. The people cheered. Hope burned bright again. The day Earth locked its gates had led to this moment, the fight for survival, courage, and the future. The final stand was over, but the story of Earth's defiance would echo across the stars forever. After the fierce battle of the final stand, a strange quiet settled over space. The Empire's mighty fleet, once a dark shadow hanging over Earth, began to retreat. One by one, their warships powered down and disappeared beyond the stars. It was a silence unlike before, empty, deep, and full of questions. On Earth, the people watched the skies with hope and relief. Commander Harris and his leaders worked tirelessly to understand what had happened. The secret weapon had crippled the Empire's fleet. Their great power was broken. Dr. May studied the data carefully. "The Empire's technology is damaged," she explained. "They have lost control of their forces. It may take them a long time to return." The news spread quickly. Across cities and villages, people celebrated. Children laughed and ran through the streets. Families hugged each other, tears of joy mixing with relief. But even in this moment of victory, Earth remained cautious. The silence of the Empire was not trust. It was the calm after a great storm. No one knew if the Empire would return stronger, or if other threats lurked in the darkness. Commander Harris stood before the world on a broadcast. "We have faced the greatest enemy the galaxy has known," he said, "and we have won. But we must remain vigilant. Our fight is not over." Scientists and soldiers began to repair the damage from the battles. Space gates were slowly reopened, but only with great care. New alliances were formed with friendly alien races, strengthening Earth's place in the galaxy. Elena, still hailed as a hero, trained new pilots. Her courage inspired a generation ready to defend their home. "We must be ready," she said, "because the stars are vast and danger can come from anywhere." In quiet moments, Commander Harris looked up at the night sky. The stars shone brightly, but he knew the galaxy was still full of unknowns. The Empire's silence was a warning, a pause, not an end. And deep beyond the visible stars, other forces watched Earth's victory. The story of humanity's defiance had reached far and wide. Some were inspired, others were alarmed. The day Earth locked its gates was no longer just a memory. It was a legend, a symbol of hope and strength. The Empire had fallen silent, but the stars still whispered secrets. Earth's story was far from over. The war was over, but Earth was not the same. The sky looked clearer, the stars seemed brighter, and a new hope filled the hearts of people everywhere. After locking its gates against the Empire, Earth had faced the darkness and come out stronger. Now, a new dawn had arrived. Leaders gathered to decide the future. The space gates, once closed tight in fear, were slowly reopened, but carefully. Earth would no longer isolate itself. Instead, it would reach out, build new friendships, and prepare for whatever lay beyond the stars. allies from distant worlds, came to Earth's side. They brought new knowledge, technology, and hope. Together, they formed a council to protect the galaxy from future threats. Earth's place among the stars was now secure, but the memory of the Empire's shadow stayed. Fresh in everyone's mind, in cities, children learned about the Great Battle. They heard stories of bravery and sacrifice, of pilots like Elena and leaders like Commander Harris. These stories became a part of Earth's history, teaching new generations the power of courage and unity. Scientists continued their work, studying the ancient secret weapon and the strange energy waves that had helped protect Earth. They knew that the galaxy was full of mysteries, and humanity was ready to explore them. But even as peace settled, a quiet question remained. In the far reaches of space, beyond where anyone could see, something was stirring. A new force, unknown and powerful, watched Earth closely. The future was bright, but it was also uncertain. Commander Harris stood on a hill, looking at the horizon where the sun rose. "We have won the battle," he said softly, "but the journey has only just begun." Elena prepared for new missions, not just to defend Earth, but to explore the galaxy. Her eyes shone with determination and wonder. The day Earth locked its gates was a turning point, a moment when humanity stood tall against the darkness. Now, with open gates and hopeful hearts, Earth stepped into a new age. A new dawn had come, and the stars awaited. Peace had returned to Earth, but shadows lingered beyond the bright skies. Though the Empire's fleet had vanished and new allies had come, not all dangers were gone. Deep in the dark corners of the galaxy, unknown forces watched silently, waiting for their chance. Commander Harris knew this truth well. "Victory is only a moment," he told his team. "We must prepare for what we cannot see." Scientists discovered strange signals coming from outside the known universe. These signals were different, ancient, powerful, and full of mystery. Dr. May led a new project to understand them, hoping they might hold the key to Earth's future or its next challenge. Meanwhile, Elena trained a new generation of pilots. She shared stories of courage and sacrifice, but also warned of the unknown dangers lurking in the stars. "Our fight is never truly over," she said. "We must be ready to face whatever comes." As Earth rebuilt and grew stronger, whispers of strange ships appearing near distant worlds spread through the galaxy. No one knew who they were or what they wanted, but the fear of another invasion stirred hearts once again. Families looked to the stars with hope and caution. Children dreamed of adventure, but also learned the importance of vigilance and unity. The day Earth locked its gates had changed everything. It had shown humanity's strength, but also revealed how vast and dangerous the universe could be, and so, as a new dawn shone bright, shadows waited just beyond the light, reminding all that the story of Earth was far from finished. Years passed since Earth had locked its gates and faced the Empire's threat. Peace had settled over the planet, and humanity thrived with new friends among the stars. Yet beneath the calm surface, something was stirring, a force older and more powerful than anyone had imagined. Deep beneath the Earth's crust, in the very place where the secret weapon was discovered, sensors began to hum with unusual energy. Dr. May and her team noticed the changes immediately. The ancient technology was awakening, sending signals that pulsed like a heartbeat through the planet. Commander Harris stood beside her, his expression serious. "What have we done?" he asked quietly. "Did we just unlock something we cannot control?" Across the globe, strange phenomena appeared, mysterious lights in the sky, sudden shifts in weather, and whispers of strange voices carried on the wind. People grew uneasy, sensing that the calm might not last. Elena, now a seasoned pilot and leader, flew missions to investigate these strange occurrences. Each flight revealed more questions than answers. The stars held secrets that were beginning to call out to Earth. At the same time, messages from deep space grew stronger. The signals that once seemed distant were now almost clear. It was as if something ancient was reaching out, ready to awaken. The people of Earth prepared once more, not for war, but for discovery. They faced the unknown with hope and caution, knowing that their future might depend on what they learned next. The day Earth locked its gates had marked a beginning and an end, but now a new chapter was opening. The awakening had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.